Birds and birding. Why the stigma? Like, seriously, birds are cool. What's your problem? Let's see what students from New Milford High School have to say about birds.
Birds are pretty cool.
Okay. Would you ever go bird watching?
With you, of course.
But on your own?
I mean, if I have time to do it, yeah.
What do you think about bird watching as a hobby?
The people who do it, like your age, when you already like settled down and have a family, I think that's amazing because I feel like everyone's always so caught up in what they're doing. So I'm like, you got a hobby?
Yes! Hey, Janiris, what do you think about birds?
Birds are like colorful. And I like just flying everywhere. No?
Okay.
Just remind me of my life.
How so?
They just like swarm in the air, and that's how I am.
You swarm in the air?
Yeah.
Metaphorically speaking? Okay. What do you think about bird watching as a hobby?
It's pretty dope. I like it.
Can you elaborate on dope?
Yeah, it's like pretty cool. You know? I'd rather watch birds than be a bird. You know?
Yeah, I do know. Would you ever go bird watching?
Yes. Yes, I want to watch some birds. You know?
Why?
They're me. I am a bird. I'm flying away right now.
What do you think about birds?
They're fly. Nah, birds are fucking fly. The thing about it, you can go wherever the hell you want, man.
Nah, I like birds because they like humans. It's like so many different species.
Yo, when it gets cold,
sizes.
like imagine you and me, if we were birds and it gets cold, you'd be like, yo, I don't want to be here anymore. You and I stay together. We fly down south or east or west, wherever they go. They want me as a clique.
All right. Would you ever go bird watching?
Oh no.
Bird watching is a bunch
Unless
of
we talking about eagles.
thotties around
Or like
here,
some
yo.
football team.
Bunch
like
of birds,
Falcons, Eagles, Seahawks.
What do you think about bird watching as a hobby?
I think it's cool because you do it.
Yeah,
And
that's
Mr.
pretty
M does it.
And you guys are nice. Like number one in the state or something, right?
Something like that.
Yeah,
Like-
something like that.
Like if Maria wanted to go bird watching, I'd go because Maria would want to go and like birds that fly, but it has to be popping as birds, not like these geese and shit.
Yeah.
At the football field.
I think I'd take it to a bird watch like that.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, Mr.
What do you think about birds?
I think they're majestic, and I like when I see them because I feel like there's life.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about bird watching?
I think it would be really interesting. Like, I would want to go bird watching, but none of my friends like are into that kind of stuff. So maybe I'll go with you when I graduate.
All right.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. All right, cool. Thank you.
Now let's get the adult perspective.
What do you think about birds?
I don't like them.
Why not?
I think they're scary, and I think of Alfred Hitchcock and Tippi Hedren.
Okay. What do you think about bird watching as a hobby?
I respect it, but I think that people probably do it when it's cold and rainy and wet sometimes, and I have no desire to be somewhere where it's cold and rainy and wet.
That's fair. Would you ever go bird watching?
No, I'd go to a Met game before I'd go bird watching.
Okay. Like, why do you think there's a negative stigma on birding?
Is it running?
Yeah, it's running.
I think it's because it requires a lot of patience and clothing and I guess background and knowledge. So it's associated with being very, very smart. You have to know a lot of birds, obviously. And I just know, ew, thing with feathers. And that it poops in my house. And I think that people who are birders are usually associated with people who need like a lot of intellectual stimulation, and that is something that people don't usually think is cool at all.
Okay, all right, thank you. What do you think about birds?
I don't really think about birds often.
Okay.
My only connotation with birds, or my only thought about birds, my mom loved hummingbirds, so
Okay.
that was my connection with birds. So anytime there's a hummingbird or a hummingbird involved, since my mom passed, that's always my connection to it. So
Okay.
it's not really about the birds, more so what the bird represents.
The
for me.
symbolism.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of my coolest experience with the bird situation was, I was in my office actually years ago as the vice principal, and I was sitting in the office, and all of a sudden I heard a racket. And my office at that time had all those windows, and I heard this loud noise and racket. And all of a sudden I saw leaves start to fall down. And what ended up happening was I saw something drop, and I wasn't sure what it was. And it was basically, it looked like a big branch fell down. When I looked out the window, it was a hawk. And the hawk had a squirrel in its talons, and it was flying. It flew away with it like old school, like dinosaur situation.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And that was probably the coolest, my coolest interaction with a bird ever. So that was pretty sick.
Yeah, and you got to see out the school window.
Yes,
Yeah.
I got to see it.
Awesome. What do you think about the hobby of bird watching?
I think it's cool. I think, for me, my eyesight isn't great, so I would always have an issue. And I keep avoiding glasses, but I always had an issue with being able to see what the hell it is.
Right. No, of course,
So for
absolutely.
me-
Hello, Mr. Coyne. I have a few questions for you today.
Snuck up on me.
I'm sorry. What do you think about birds?
Birds?
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
It's for a documentary for my film studies class.
Birds are my life. You see, as a child, I was thrown outside many of nights, and my only friends were the birds. Especially Lenore, my good friend.
What do you think about bird watching as a hobby?
To me, it's the only hobby.
Okay.
That is all.
Would you ever go birding?
I go birding quite often. I heard the bird is the word.
Why do you think that birding is considered not cool and that there's a negative stigma behind it?
Whoever thinks birding is not cool is a cotton-headed ninny.
All right, and that's a wrap.
Birders are misunderstood.
You watch what now? You what? You watch what? You look at birds. What? You watch birds? And why? Out of your mind? How did you get started doing that? How long you been doing that? I mean, what else do you look at? Frogs or something? Rocks? Or is it just the birds? What do you get out of that? I can't see what you get out of that. And I just don't understand. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Will you eat a bird? For example, chicken. So what, you don't eat chicken? That's a bird. Chicken's a bird, right? Or is that not something that you... Well, you're eating one of your friends there. I saw this bird the other day flying over the lake. I saw a bird, interesting bird, hopping around in the bush, flying in circles. Over my home. Like this big, huge, tiny thing. Wings like an airplane. What was that? You know what that was? A red-tailed hawk? I got a good look at it. It was bright red, solid white, black all in here. Had a blue head. Blue, but it wasn't blue like a blue jay. It was like well, this blue. The head was red, but like bright red, like this red. This half was orange. This half of it was red. This half was green. Bright yellow. Deep purple. Red. Deep purple, like the band. Green, but with blue as well. What was that? What the hell was that thing? A Baltimore Oreo? It was making these weird sounds like, it was making a sound. It was going, whoop, whoop, something like that.
Let's meet a birder.
This is a bird feeder. It's for feeding birds.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is black oil sunflower seed. And birds like it. I don't know, what do you say about black oil sunflower seeds? It makes less of a mess on your lawn.
It's pretty messy, though.
Yeah, but the millet is the little round yellow seeds, and they look worse on the grass. I'd say more birds like these than other seeds.
Okay.
See that? Black oil sunflower seeds. Don't eat them. They don't taste as good as the ones we eat. Want to talk about this or no?
Sure.
This is a hummingbird feeder. New Milford doesn't get hummingbirds because they're not cool like Ringwood is. This is a solution of sugar and water, and hummingbirds will sit here and stick their beaks in that yellow part there and get some nectar. This is thistle. This is generally for goldfinch, American goldfinch. They're the state bird.
State bird, yeah.
Yeah. They're yellow.
What is that, Mr. M?
Oh, that's suet. Suet is animal fat that is boiled down, and then they add a bunch of seeds and fruit to it. And it's good for woodpeckers and other random birds will go there too. Generally, you're supposed to use it more in the winter because it puts fat stores in their body that they otherwise have trouble finding in the cold months. So I have it on like this little pulley system. It's not going to come down, is it?
Nope.
I got this pulley system here because in Ringwood, bears like this stuff just as much. And I forgot that there's 2 suet things on it, and I only got 1.
It's okay.
Want to get a close-up?
Sure.
All right, that's suet. It's just a solid chunk of animal fat. With this one's got, it looks like corn and more sunflower seed in it.
Would you eat it?
No. Yeah, maybe.
Will you lick it?
I'll lick it. Tastes like wax.
Birds love that wax.
Oh yeah. We've had bears attack these before, so not since we've been putting them up here. And that's about it. Are you gonna try to film birds on this stuff?
Yeah, if you feed them, they will come, right? So we'll wait for them
plan.
to realize and then get some of that footage.
Oh, as a side note, I don't miss any of you. All right.
What it's really like to be a birder. Hashtag the struggle.
Crap. All right. To the left of the second hill. Okay, in the big tree. Do you see that green tree? Now, go up about 20 feet. Go up, and then to the left. On the right, there's a pond. You see that island? Look to the right. It's right by that island. Look to the left. It's down on the ground. No, it's on the ground. No, it's just... No. Do you see that tree? Fairly common. No, fairly rare. Fairly uncommon. Fairly common but declining. Extinct. Fairly extinct. I don't know. What does it say in Sibley's? I don't know. Did you bring a Peterson's? What does it say in Sibley's? You bring a Peterson's? You bring a Sibley's? You bring a Peterson's? You bring a Sibley's? You bring a Peterson's? You brought a Crossley's? Just give it another minute. Just give it another minute. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. 10 minutes. Just give it 1 more hour. All right, so it's the third left after the cows. You're using 8s? I can't use 8s. You use 8s? How can you use 8s? You use 8s? I can only use 10s. How can you use 10s? You use 10s? I can only use 8s. I can't use 10s. I need 9s. I think we'd be better off if we were seeing other people. It's just that, oh, this one's supposed to say tweet. Tweet. Chuka-chee. Z. Two. Puck. Sup. Chip. Gip. It actually says that. Gip. It doesn't say anything. Technically, we're not supposed to be here.
Well, everybody's heard about the bird. The bird. The bird's a winner when a bird. Bird is a winner when a bird. When a bird is a winner when a bird. The bird's a winner when a bird. When a bird is a winner when a bird. The bird's a winner when a bird. The bird's a winner when a bird. When a bird is a winner when a bird. The bird's a winner when a don't you know about the bird? Well, everybody knows that the bird is a winner when a bird. The bird's a winner when a everybody's heard about the bird. The bird's a winner when a bird. The bird's a winner when a bird. The bird's a winner when a bird.